All right, everyone. Welcome to Simply Bitcoin. We break down the news from Twitter, the daily fail, meme review, software releases, and the websites by plebes or plebs. Today, we've got a special guest, fellow Bitcoiner, toxic pleb, LC Hodl. It's great that he's joining us. He's going to join in on the fun after. But right now, we're going to go check out the numbers. But before we do, drop us a like, subscribe. Okay, now the numbers. Let's go. All right, at the time of this recording, the block height is 686,979. The Bitcoin price, 36,625. Chain rewrite days, 737. Total public lightning capacity, 1,466.88 BTC. Bitcoin versus gold market cap, 5.58%. Sats per dollar, 2,730. We've got a dip there. We're getting less sats per dollar than yesterday.
Man,
I'll take it.
We're channeling.
I know we're channeling.
I'm
filling with hopium here.
We're almost getting up to. We're at 55 days since the all-time high. We're almost getting close to almost 2 months since the all-time high. But yeah, man, I feel like we're just going to be channeling like this for the rest of the summer. And I think the end of the year, it's going to be a surprise. But what the hell do I know? We don't like to speculate on this show. Anyways, Phil, it's time for
the daily fail. Yep, that's right. You know, we don't just pick on the shitcoiners. We pick on each other too. There's no safe zone for us. Anyways, so Honk Hogan tagged us in this. Shout out to him, fellow Bitcoin pleb. And he's saying this is the kind of bullshit Owie Dieter Bob is talking about. Shout out to Owie. And yeah, he's calling this the daily fail. What is he talking about? All right, let's go to it. Talking here, it's Robert Breedlove, and his tweet would love to hear what the free market thinks about Bitclout. I'll be taking a look at it over the next week. The first non-Bitcoin project I've ever looked at in a while. Here's the link to the profile reserved for me. Okay, so look. Ugh, this is brutal. Yeah, I mean, like, there's just, I mean, come on, you gotta know, like, don't get me wrong, like, with the type of stuff that he's written, the type of messaging that has gone out from him, I am totally shocked that... I shouldn't say I'm shocked. I'm like fucking disappointed that he put that he put that out there. It's so bad. Okay, so look, I just want to give a little bit of background because there are some people who may not actually know what BitClout is, and Coffeezilla, fellow Bitcoiner, you know, covered a little bit of this. So I'm going to put this on for a bit. Okay, like we're not going to show the whole thing. Okay, but it's just to give kind of an overall of, you know, kind of the scam that is BitClout. Anyways, here we go.
And his job was basically to send Bitclout to these starter profiles, these profiles they stole, pump up the value artificially so that these creators think to themselves, maybe I should go claim that. Now remember, in the Genesis block, Master got 100,000 Bitclout, so that's how he did it. Now, when Snoop Dogg goes on his profile, he thinks that there's legitimate interest in his profile, when in reality, this is minted pre-mined coins that are essentially worthless, right? They're not worth anything. It costs absolutely $0 to make them. Now, this gets more insidious when you look at profiles even bigger, like Justin Bieber, one of the biggest profiles on BitClout. Now, BitClout would get a lot of credibility by him joining, right? So rather than go about this the official way and, you know, prove that their company's valuable and prove that they have real legitimacy, well, first, what do? Well, they pre-give Justin Bieber a bunch of coins so his valuation just gets pumped up. They just throw 40 coins at a creator just so they like pump up his value right away. Then they have people like Fallows invest 13 coins. He's from the Genesis block, and he's one of the main holders of Justin Bieber coin. Guess who else is? Happy Penguin. Happy Penguin is also...
This is clearly a scam. I don't understand. I mean, this was known... This was a known scam already months ago. This is so cringe. Anyways, that is a total fail. And you know what? He's got a lot of followers. So this is a lot of people that just got exposed to something that is complete garbage.
Yeah, man, and it's unfortunate, but shout out to Coffeezilla, amazing, amazing YouTuber. He might not be completely orange pilled, but he does a good job exposing the shitcoin scams. So shout out to him. But in terms of Robert, man, yeah, this is definitely very disappointing. Phil, I think we should get him on the show and just fucking ask him straight up, like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, like, what the fuck are you doing? What do you think?
Absolutely.
This is quite confusing, bro. This is obviously a shit coin platform. You know, it's obviously a pre-mined scam that Coffeezilla just pointed out beautifully, right? So what the hell's going on? Did they pay him? I don't know, but hopefully we'll get to ask him. But anyways, let's ask our guest, LC. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, man.
On this 180 from Breedlove?
I feel like previous maximalism doesn't exempt you from future shitcoin.
No, of course not. Hell
no. So he's got like one fucking tweet to save himself from ending up on the Mara and Elon list, which would be the fuck Breedlove list. I'm sorry, but
dude,
I don't give a fuck what you wrote and how good it was. He was always giving me that kind of like Eric Weinstein feel, where like he'll like go in, like he's good, and then he'll get to like a certain point in the rabbit hole where I feel like he's like talking about how smart he is. I don't know. I feel like I felt this one coming. I've never been a fan of his.
So you knew this was gonna happen before it happened.
He didn't have that pleb feel, and anybody that doesn't have the pleb feel, I keep him at arm's length.
No. I agree with you. Man, but it's still it's disappointing, dude. Disappointing.
All the influencers, dude.
But listen, bro. Listen. What LC said was completely right. Bitcoin kills your heroes very quickly. Even if, but look,
they kill themselves, man.
Phil and I could just start shitcoining tomorrow, and then that's it. It's gone, right? It's not about, it's not about who does the shitcoining. It's about doing the shitcoining in the first place. And I think that's why toxicity is so important and so beautiful, because it doesn't matter how long you've been a quote unquote Bitcoiner, bro. As soon as you start heading down that wrong path, bro, the decentralized immune system attacks you the way it should be, right? But yeah, man. Awesome daily fail. Let's see what the comments say tomorrow. But anyways, Phil, it's time for
the daily meme review.
All right, everybody. Well, this meme has a little bit of a backstory. Let's check it out. This was one of the corporate media, BSers, essentially, when that FBI announcement came out, which we covered yesterday. Check this out. The FBI apparently begged to differ. And that's essentially Tyler Winklevoss saying, like, look, this is Bitcoin. It separates money and state. And she's claiming, no, it doesn't. The FBI could, clearly hack your wallet, which we already debunked yesterday. But anyways, getting to the meme, it was by Copper Nixon. Check it out. Bitcoin obsoletes you and your pathetic way of life. You can't make a living anymore being a stereographer for the state. Beautifully said. Wow. Cry harder. Louis Mish, state propagandist reporter, Bitcoiner. Man, epic meme. And I just love how it was put for that. And dude, because it was such an epic meme, I'm going to give it a very special score. Phil gave this to me for my birthday for coming all the way up to go visit him up north. And it was a Bitcoin magnet thing for your fridge or something.
It's a honey badger. It's a wooden honey badger.
Isn't that what I said? What did I say?
From Quinn Solo.
What did I say? But you
Shout out
gave
to
this
Quinn
to
Solo.
me. But you said that. You gave this to me. How was I supposed to know that?
I don't know.
Okay,
that's what the shape is, though. It's a honey badger.
What did I say it was?
A thingy.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, dude. My mind's just out of it. Yes, it's a honey badger, guys. Okay. Anyways, Phil, what would you give it?
Oh God. I got totally confused as you started that meme. I thought, I was like, did we just skip to the news? I'm like, I feel like we looked at this yesterday. Anyways, yeah, this is what happens, right? The memory address I was trying to reach is unavailable. It's just gone. Anyways, the score I am giving it is a Raspberry Pi LCD screen.
Oh my God.
That's right. We're going to build out a whole entire Pi on this show in score.
All you do, you're just giving it circuit boards, LCD screens, cables, like Oh my God, you have everything back there. But anyways, a wooden honey badger, another one of Phil's toys. And of course, last but not least, our guest, LC, what would you give that meme?
It is a fine meme. And due to it being such a fine meme, I think it deserves this half a bottle of Italian dressing I left on the table last night.
Oh, thank you for making my editing tomorrow. Great. Okay. So awesome scores. We have another one of Phil's toys trinkets. We got a BTC wooden coaster magnet thing, and of course a half empty Italian dressing. Well, guys, we want to know, do you disagree with our scores? If you do, give your score down below in the comment section, and the best score we'll shout it out tomorrow. Just give it anything random, doesn't matter. But anyways, Phil, it's time for
the Daily News, sponsored by
Crypto Cloaks.
All right, everybody, the news for today. This was absolutely crazy. I could not believe my mind what was happening last night. Essentially, the president of El Salvador was talking about the endless possibilities that it would bring to his country at 1:35 a.m. in the morning. And check out the room, dude. It had Jack in it from Twitter, the CEO of Twitter. It had Caitlin Long, it had Pomp, it had Alex Gladstein, Peter McCormack, right? A lot of the established Bitcoiners, but dude, some of the questions were just absolutely crazy. And documenting Bitcoin did a very, very good job. But first, let me read this tweet by Pomp. And he asked this question to the president. The president responded. The president of El Salvador, and I just clicked a link. The president of El Salvador just confirmed that the country is mandating acceptance of Bitcoin by merchants, right? That's pretty fucking crazy. El Salvador, thank you, documenting BTC. El Salvador is not only a country anymore, it is a symbol of what Bitcoin can do. And that is a quote from the president during this Spaces meet. Check this out. He also mentioned, which is pretty badass, because now you could say that Bitcoin is backed by volcanoes, baby, because this was absolutely crazy. But he did make the announcement that a geothermal electric company was going to put together a plan to mine Bitcoin with volcanic emissions energy, right? So now there's going to be Bitcoin miners powered by volcanoes. I'm being a little bit hyperbolic, but it's absolutely it's super funny, man, and it's kind of true. But anyways, check this out. After he made that announcement, this is where I told you guys where I think Bitcoin's under attack, right? And of course, we're talking about the World Bank, we're talking about the World Economic Forum, we're talking about all the central banks, right? If this succeeds in El Salvador, this is going to open the floodgates. We already reported yesterday about all the different Latin American leaders essentially just putting on the laser eyes. So it looks like all the other Latin American countries that essentially get hurt the most when the United States decides to print the most amount of currency, because they are holding that as reserves. If they see this working in El Salvador, they're just going to jump on the ship, on the Bitcoin ship, on the Bitcoin orange life raft. But anyways, check this out. The US State Department and IMF, International Monetary Fund, have already reached out to me. How crazy is that, dude? Mm-hmm. So as soon as the president of El Salvador wanted to make Bitcoin legal tender in the country, a historic moment last night on Twitter Spaces, man, already you see it, man. You see it. The gatekeepers are just like, what's going on there? I don't think they'll be able to stop it. But Phil, was that a moment? What are your thoughts?
Okay, so a couple of things. First, mandate. I don't like that word. Forcing people to transact in a certain currency. I don't know about forcing people. I'm not so okay with that.
So we'll get into the language specifics,
okay,
in a little bit, but it's not as like we're forcing people to do that. Okay. They will give people the option to just use dollars if they want to, but I'll get into that in a second.
Okay, cool. But okay, so besides that, right? That is absolutely hilarious. That it's like, wait a second, don't you still want this cheap garbage money that we have for you? It's like, really? It's like, wait, don't you want this, like, this plan that didn't work, that hasn't been working and everyone's been suffering? It's like, no, that's it. We're done with you. We're done with dealing with, and you know what? This is exactly what we were talking about.
Yep.
You know, it is the law of incentives. They are totally incentivized to do this. You know, I think that, you know, for the first time where we're actually seeing a decision where, you know, the government is choosing to take the money printing out of their own hands. I mean, that, I don't care how big or small the government is, that's a fantastic step.
Madness. This is Bitcoin!
They just took themselves out of that equation.
Absolutely, man. But dude, it's super, super bullish news. And Phil, the president did say that they are not just allowing this on a state-made or produced wallet. They're also allowing every citizen to host their own open source Bitcoin wallet to transact in Bitcoin, right? Because that was a question that was asked. But before I get to LC, I kind of want to play this video, because while this Twitter Spaces was happening, the actual legislation passed through with the vote, a supermajority of 62 votes to 84. The crowd went absolutely crazy, and check it out. Man, this is a historic moment. This is the first time Bitcoin is considered legal, not that it matters, legal tender in another country, right? And what are the implications of that before I get LC's thoughts, right? Essentially, let me read some of the articles that was translated into English. The purpose of this law is to regulate, this is what passed last night in El Salvador. The purpose of this law is to regulate Bitcoin as an unrestricted legal tender with liberating power, unlimited in any transaction, and to any title that public or private, natural or legal persons required carrying out, right? Prices may be expressed in Bitcoin. Tax contributions can be paid in Bitcoin. Exchanges in Bitcoin will not be subject to capital gains tax, just like any legal tender. That is huge. That is a shot across the bow against the United States. Just pointing that out there. For accounting purposes, the USD will be used as the reference currency. Every economic agent must accept, this is what you're talking about, mandating, Phil. Every economic agent must accept Bitcoin as payment when offered to him by whoever acquires a good or service, right? The president did get into more details about what that essentially meant. And look, they are mandating that, but they are giving people the option that if they want to get paid, even though they're being paid in Bitcoin, they could immediately exchange that to dollars, right? And the government's going to have a special fund where they're going to be doing that exchange for people, for their citizens specifically, right? So it is kind of like that mandate is kind of weird, but it's like a mandate, but you still have the option to use dollars if you wanted to, right? It's just the opinion that I got from him from yesterday's talk was that he's really wants Bitcoin entrepreneurs and shitcoin entrepreneurs going into the country. And dude, it's a major step. But LC, what are your thoughts? I'll shut up now.
Well, it was fucking epic to be in that room last night. That being said, like I think some of them, you know, you touched on some of it, like, right, some of the major points that came out of it. I think he's really smart for openly saying that he isn't trying to get off the dollar standard. I think that could work to his advantage as far as taking heat, international heat for the move he's making. Because, you know, in reality, it's a fucking big move and you're pissing off a lot of big players. You know, I think it's super fucking bullish, man, that you can have a country where you can go and Bitcoin is considered legal tender and a medium of exchange. That's insane. And the thing you were talking about, I think he talked about having the government wallet and a trust lined up with the government wallet. So the people who didn't necessarily want to accept Bitcoin could accept it through the government wallet and have it converted into dollars by the time they accepted it, which is cool because it sounds a little weird because it's a government wallet, but at the same time, it's cool because it allows the people who don't want to do the Bitcoin thing to still be included. I find that cool.
It's a government wallet created by Strike.
Right.
So, you know, like it's still an awesome Bitcoin company. But yeah, man, that yesterday was a historical day in Bitcoin. June 8th or June 9th, because it was early morning. I think that will never be forgotten. But to end the news segment, check this out, Phil.
I gotta say,
yes, sir.
the most bullish thing that came out of that meeting was when his brother called him a fucking boomer for not unmuting his mic when he was asked a question.
Oh my god, dude, that's savage. But dude, check this out to end the news segment. MicroStrategy announces pricing of $500 million of 6.125% secured notes due to 2028 to acquire additional Bitcoin. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Didn't we cover this yesterday? And you'd be right. But what we covered yesterday was an announcement of $400 million. Michael Saylor doubled down again. $500 million. So he was like, 400, that's not enough. We need 500. This guy is going all in. He's just going all in. And I know that we just trashed. No. We didn't just trash on Michael Saylor. We trashed on Breedlove. But we did trash on Michael Saylor when he was supporting the ESG initiative thing, but it looks like Marathon. We won that victory. But Chad Saylor's back into our good graces. But man, $500 million, Phil. This guy's just like, he keeps going all in, bro.
Fields of Corn, Chapter 2. How I just got more corn.
By the Chad Saylor.
He's insane.
Dude.
It's amazing. You know, like, I mean, this guy just keeps doubling down. He doesn't listen to anybody. It's fantastic. Good for him. Good for him. He makes me proud.
It's the way man, he I know he's not a pleb, but he's definitely a Bitcoiner. He definitely gets it. LC, what are your thoughts on this?
Obviously it's super bullish, it's Giga Chad, but at the same time, I think the most bullish shit about that for me was the thing that a lot of people weren't highlighting, which was the fact that there was 1.6 billion in interest from these hedge funds and shit like that. Like, the 500 million is cool, but it's also cool to see on the back end of that there's all this extra interest of people that want to buy these notes.
Absolutely.
Like, I think that's super fucking bullish for Bitcoin.
But do you think they want to buy the notes because they think that Saylor's just going to blow up, or do you think they want to buy the notes because they actually believe in the Bitcoin vision?
I think I don't give a fuck which way they want to buy it for. If they want to buy it because they think he's going to get wrecked, they can have fun staying poor and get fucking wrecked. And if they want to buy him because they're backing Saylor, fucking sick. That's dope too. But there's 2 more halvings before that shit happens. So I hope they're in it for the right reasons. Otherwise, they're going to get wrecked.
Amen. And this is exactly why we brought you on as a guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, that is LC. But Phil, there was a software release today. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Software releases that I'm looking for. All right, looks like Onion Share version 2.3.2 was released, and the link to that is down below in the show notes.
Phil, you've told me about what is Onion Share?
I'm an old man. I have no idea. Maybe I've even told you about it, and then I don't remember anything.
I'm just kidding. I'm messing around with Phil. We have absolutely no idea what that is, but it's a Bitcoin software release, apparently. If anyone knows what that is, comment down below. But anyways, before we go, I want to give a shout out to our awesome guest. He is one of the most toxic Bitcoin maximalists you could have ever chatted with or met, whatever. You can go follow him at LC_HODL. And definitely go check out his podcast. I highly recommend it. It's a pod by a blue-collar pleb for blue-collar plebs. Pro-Bitcoin, pro-sovereignty, anti-BS, and fully fucking toxic. Awesome. But anyways, guys, you know what to do. If you enjoyed the show, smash that like button. And of course, if you want to continue hearing the Bitcoin news from the pleb perspective and the catastrophic fiat and shitcoin fails, definitely consider subscribing, and we will see you tomorrow for another episode of Simply Bitcoin.